everyone out there, and welcome to a live, brand new episode, 49er-centric episode, Seahawk-heavy episode of the Humm Daddies. We are the Humm Daddies OG, the originals. My name's Jake Lucas. I'm here with Joe Starkey. I'm here with Gypsy, a.k.a. Dave Greenstein, and we have a special guest today. Dave, why don't you get into that and preview the show?
You got it. Scott here, Joe's roommate in college. Will give you a little more info, and crazy Seahawks fan as they all are. No, we're happy to have Scott on the show to help add a little bit of context to this great divisional battle. It is the best of three, the rubber match, Niners Seahawks. I can't wait. Saturday night can't come any sooner. We'll talk about a little bit about the Eagles game, I'm sure, and reference some of the injuries from that game, some of the highlights, what the Niner fans are looking forward to, what the Seahawks fans are seeing. Do the Niners have any shot at being a winner and moving on to the NFC Championship, or are the Seahawks going to just trample us? So we'll have a nice long convo about that. We're going to give you a little bit of highlights into the rest of the sporting world. But with that, Joe, introduce our lovely guest here, Scott Henderson.
Yeah, my buddy Scott, college roommate. Freshman year, we were in the San Juan Capistrano dorm room. I was on the second floor. He was on the first floor. Hit it off quite quickly. Scott being from Seattle, me being from the Bay Area, Oakland. I was a big Oakland A's fan, and Scott, big Seattle Mariners fan. I think we immediately got into a battle about who should be the MVP of 2001. And I think the Mariners had won like 116 games or were in pursuit of doing that. Ichiro was a rookie, and my boy Jason Giambi was clearly the better player that year, but was robbed of an MVP. And so I think Scott and I have been good friends ever since. Father of three, lives in San Diego, still a big Seattle fan. Seahawks, Mariners, the old Supersonicas, and yeah, man, had to bring him in to talk Niners Seahawks. We still survived. We survived the Philadelphia game, so we get one more crack at the old Sea Chickens. So Scott, welcome to the show.
Great
so
to
glad to have you.
I'm fired up to have you, the Humm Daddies realm. Humm Daddy to the north, Scott.
It's an honor.
So, Scotty, tell me, why the hell are the Seattle Seahawks 14-3 this year? I thought you guys were slated to win about 8 games or something like that, and it's been a banner year. You got the number 1 seed, home field advantage, looking good. How the hell did this happen?
It's mainly just the defense is amazing, and it's good like everywhere. It's like good at all 3 levels and even depth, but I don't think there's like a place you can pick on them, except for unless you got a guy like Puka or something that like they gave a few bombs to some like awesome receivers with big arms, but most games they're just
is
really,
Puka just
really
the physical presence that kind of outmatches a smaller cornerback? Is that what makes him successful?
I don't know. He's just a freak. But
Smith and Jigba might be Offensive Player of the Year, Scott. I mean, don't undersell that guy.
No. But like, I think it's like the crazy guys that give us trouble. Like they're so sound and they play, I think, a conservative scheme, and then they're always in nickel. But Imanori's like a huge nickel, and he's like a better Darwin James, and they kind of just like he can play all over the place. So they're in nickel the whole time, but they can stop the run really well with their front 7, even though he's not a linebacker.
Yeah, they sure as hell stopped our running game the last time we played them. It's not often you get Christian McCaffrey with 3 carries in the first half, and that wasn't by design, and it wasn't through injury. We just didn't have the ball, and we were kind of dumbfounded by that. I was a little puzzled. I thought, the first week we played you guys, it was a hard-fought battle, but we had some offense. We were moving the ball a little bit. So has your defense has it progressed through the year? Has it improved throughout the year? Is that kind of what's been going on?
Yeah, but one thing about that game was Imanori got hurt on. Well, he was a rookie, so it was game one, but he also got hurt like in the first quarter, and I think they had another corner hurt, so they had like two backups that actually turned out good, but it was like their first game, and there was some I don't know. I just remember like our secondary blew that game, and like even the last play, like Woolen had two really bad plays in that game, but then we were talking about trading him, and then like he's a free agent coming up, and then like he's like totally turned around. He was amazing as a rookie, and then he kind of floundered the last couple of years, but like he's back to being really good.
Scott, how does the sorry, Jake?
Do you, I just wanted, how do you think you'll use KW3 in this one? Should we be worried about your run game? Has that been a strength?
The first half of the year they didn't run it well, and they were passing really well, and then it kind of flipped, and the runnings turned on, and the passings kind of regressed.
Right.
But yeah, I think they're going to run it a lot with both him and Chavernay.
My fear is that we're going to play the run and just get, because I feel like that's what Darnold kind of does well, is he can, if he's got a single high safety, he could probably pick that off pretty well to, that receiving crew. So that would be my fear, is that we're going to try to adjust from what happened in week 18, where Seattle ran on the 49ers very easily, kind of dominated, and try to switch up that strategy and then get, JSN to pick us apart downfield would be problematic. Because, I think, we could get into this, but the Seahawks seem to be pretty much a solid ship with maybe one concern, and that seems to be, you tell me if I'm wrong, seems to be Sam Darnold has the ability to turn the ball over.
Call it an ability.
That defense seems receiving crew is great. The offensive line, the defensive line, the running game is picking it up. The screen game is looking good. So, I mean, if we can somehow, and we also just don't match up well here because we'd have no pass rush, just zero pass rush. But if somehow Darnold feels the pressure and he starts winging the ball, that might be one concern you have. Anyway, Scott, I'm just kind of making this up as I go.
I don't totally trust Darnold, but I'm not too worried with your defense. Like, I fear like Houston, if we somehow, I guess we beat it. I don't really remember that game that well, but the way their defense is playing, like I kind of want them to lose. Assuming we make the Super Bowl, like I'm most scared of Houston on the AFC side, just because
you're already looking at the Super Bowl.
Games. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I made that point before. The way Houston and Seattle played the Niners, their defensive game plans were obviously the most superior game plans against the Niners this year. They just drained clock, and it was just first down after first down, moving the chains, ball possession, time of possession. And that's the way you play this Niners defense, because they're a bend not break defense. It probably is better to just milk clock and, tire them out than go for a big play. Although, yeah.
I'm just shocked. He's talking about the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys.
I hope all Seahawk fans and Seahawk players
have you guys even thought about the Super Bowl? We're playing the same game, I think. I just have no concept of being in the Super Bowl. None.
Well, I mean, if I were Scott, I would hope his team isn't thinking that way, because you got to take it one game at a time. But yeah, what about the NFC Championship, Scott? You think you get through us, then Rams or Bears and no biggie?
The Rams would be it'd be at home, and we'd have a little rest advantage. So I think we'd be slight favorites, but I wouldn't feel that confident. I think we'd be favored and probably win, but I'd be more worried.
But you're more worried about the Texans than the Rams, which makes me think that you could beat the Rams more than the Texans. And so, hey, I have a question for you, Scott. the Seahawks defense this year, as they seem like the beginning of the year, who knew how good they were going to be? Have they come as far as the Legion of Boom? Is this defense more exciting than that one? Do they have the ability to create those turnovers? I think the one thing that's been impressive with the Seahawks season is they never lost a game by more than a few points, by less than a score in every game. And otherwise, they've either beaten the crap out of everybody else or they've won, by a few points themselves. And I feel like the defense has carried them a lot of the way, but I just don't know, are they that impressive and that stout, or are they really just, like you said, solid everywhere, and they don't have a weakness, but they're not going to beat you up?
I think their D-line's probably better than the Legion of Boom, and then it's almost impossible to beat the Legion of Boom secondary, but it's still very good. And I think the D-line's better than it was, though, back then. Because you got Lawrence, and then Murphy's been amazing, and Leonard Williams, and they're just all awesome. And I think there's something about having two awesome D tackles, and then Lawrence plays the run really well, so it's kind of like 3 D tackles, and then Jaron Reed's good. But I don't know, when you have just multiple, they don't have that one home run sack guy
By committee, though.
But certain games, I don't know about the schemes they do, but there's certain games where one guy will suddenly look like that, and then the next week he'll do a different role or something. It'll be someone else. But I was thinking would I take you would think you would take a defensive player from the Legion of Boom if I could just sub him on this team, but I would take an offensive player because the defense is so good already. I mean, I think they're 1 overall EPA or whatever, and they're 2 against the run and 2 against the pass.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know what you're talking about because the Niners have a lot of sack stars, a lot of guys.
We embarrassment of riches. This is exactly how our defensive line feels, right? This loaded.
I think we have a historically low number in sacks. Beyond that, know what I'm most worried about as a Niners fan? If you guys think back to 2023 when the Ravens embarrassed the Niners on that national it was a Sunday night or a Monday night, Brock versus Lamar for the MVP. That was Mike McDonald's defense playing against Brock Purdy, and he embarrassed the hell out of him. And it was Purdy was on the verge of winning an MVP and then got through those silly picks and had a worst game of his career probably. And then the last time he played Mike McDonald's D, he also looked very poor. So I think this guy kind of owns Brock, and that's the biggest matchup I'm looking at is the Seattle head coach, who seems to be in Brock Purdy's head. I don't. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, this is a Brock put up or shut up game like every other one has been because Mr. Irrelevant is becoming like Mr. Irreverence. No one has any confidence in this guy across the entire sporting world. They just undermine him at all costs, except for us who are Niners fans. And so I'm just feeling like Brock has again got something to prove, but he's going to do it. He's going to have to do it against literally the toughest defense he's probably seen since he got his arm broken by the Eagles. So it's not an easy game for him by any stretch to come in here and expect to put up a big point number. It's going to be a little bit more game management, and hopefully the Niners defense set him up to get a few extra, throws, not throws, but more play opportunities, because we can maybe get a few 3 and outs. But if the Seahawks run all over the Niners and Brock is sitting on the sidelines and he's going to go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, it's going to be a long day for Niner fans.
Yeah. It was not pretty in week 18. The offensive line could not control this furious defensive front from Seattle. It was just ugly. And Brock was rushing it, and it was all out of sync. And then you see last week, and it looked totally different. The offensive line really held up a pretty good defensive front against the Eagles. So I mean, can Shanahan figure out this Mike McDonald defense? It's I don't think anybody's really figured it out this year. He certainly didn't have a clue 2 weeks ago. So hopefully he's got something to figure out. It seems like, Brock really likes to work the middle of the field, if we're honest. that's where he's best, and I think that's where Seattle's best too. So he's going to have to throw to the sidelines, and that's Brock's got a lot of things going for him. I think he's just been awesome this year, but arm strength is not necessarily it, and so he's going to have to reach long passes on the sideline, I think, to get around this Seattle D.
So Joe, McDonald, I mean, Brock's only success against McDonald has been that week 1 game this year, and people have thrown that at me. But do you remember when Brock, like 2 of those touchdowns were thrown into like quadruple coverage? Like 4 men were on Kittle for one play, and he just like blindly threw it in there, and it was a prayer.
Well, the Tonjes touchdown to win it. How about that?
Yeah, that was
totally
crazy.
Blew it on.
So you can't get away with doing that again this week. And I just, I hope this is Kyle's chance to make me a believer, out scheme McDonald, because so far McDonald owns Shanahan and owns Brock. It's just facts.
I think they played 5 times versus McDonald and held them under 24 the 5 times.
Yeah, not great. Not great at all.
Well, no, I mean, and the other thing is, Jake, your pet project is the 49ers running game, getting the running game started.
Involved, yes.
Yeah, and one of the problems against Seattle is there's just, that little bitch center, Jake Brendel. He can't move anybody. He certainly can't move this Seattle front. And so I don't know, sometimes they do like little traps or like little tricky screen passes, get, misdirection. That seems to work out okay. But when we just go straight up the gut, it does not go
with
anywhere.
McCaffrey, because he's not a straight up the gut guy.
Well, I don't even know how it would go with Brian Robinson Jr. because we don't try it.
We tried it, and he got 6 yards, and then he didn't get a carry again for 2 more quarters. But Scott, I watched every play of Phillip Rivers' comeback game, the first one against the Seahawks, and Jonathan Taylor was moving the ball. It was surprised. The Colts had a surprisingly good game on offense. I'm wondering what your take was, and Phillip Rivers made some quality throws. A lot of them were outs, or like, he dumped it off to running backs and stuff, but it was a somewhat of an effective offense. I mean, Colts could have easily won that game. And as a Seahawk diehard you are, do you think there's they can be got by a game plan similar to that? I know Jonathan Taylor's a stud, but Christian McCaffrey is too. I thought, right? So what do you think of that? And was that a good game plan to face your Seahawks D?
Yeah, no, they were moving it, and they think they got a lot of field goals, if I remember, but they seemed to be getting yards. It seemed like he was confident they were going to win and just didn't want to give up anything big, and like it was kind of conservative. But I mean, I think they could move the ball in the same fashion and get some field goals, and yeah, I mean, we could easily lose if we keep missing. We missed 2 field goal kickers. Been great, Myers, all year, but he had a bad game the last game versus you. So, and you never know with the 4th downs or fumbles, turnovers. You could definitely dink and dunk, but I think, I don't know. McCaffrey, he had a great year, but like it doesn't seem like they're running that well with him of late.
He had a great year receiving. It's questionable, like his average per carry is average.
He was a workhorse, but he wasn't. He didn't have
the runs all year were to just keep other teams honest, because the passing game was what carried the Niners' offense when it needed to. Like, it's never been the running game this year. The running game hopefully is enough to get the Niners into 3rd and manageable. Because if Brock Purdy's in a lot of 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10 or whatever, they get a sack and they get back, there's no way this Niner team can beat the Seahawks. They can't do it. There's just no way. We can't be 3rd and long against the Seahawks.
And I'm not hoping for, I still think it would be wise to put Brian Robinson in to
not
give
gonna happen.
The defense a different kind of look. If it didn't happen last week, guy got 0 carries. It's not going to happen this week. Shanahan rides with his guy until he injures him. And so that's what's going to happen again. Brian Robinson had 11.
Brian Robinson is more likely to play linebacker for the 49ers on Saturday.
Yeah.
We could use it. Yeah.
So you remember when
he's our kick returner, Jake.
I was so juiced after that trade, And I was like, okay, great. We can do split backs. We can have McCaffrey in the slot, Robinson in the backfield. They played together, I believe, in one series this year together. One series all year.
All right, I'm going to introduce you guys. Interject. We got to do what are you drinking, what are you wearing? We're 20 minutes into this pod here, for crying out loud.
There you go.
And I'm going to let our special guest Scott go first. Scott, what are you drinking? And you got a few outfits out there. You might even throw in that Waters later in the background.
Ooh, nice.
Working some Bud Light here in my Seahawks cup.
Nice.
I got some USD for Joe.
Hello. That's where he went to school.
My starter jacket. And we got Ricky Waters in the back, the my favorite Seahawks / 49er. Well, technically Sherman, but he feels more like a Seahawk to me, where Waters is more of a shared entity. And Jerry Rice, of course, who finished his illustrious career.
Can't believe that.
I forgot about
for a quick second. When they were in the AFC, they were in the AFC though when he was
highlight.
on the Seahawks, correct? That's that long ago.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and Waters was the AFC West guy against the Raiders and stuff.
Richard Sherman. I was rewatching a little bit of that 2013 NFC Championship game, which I don't know why I did that to myself. It was horrible.
Crabtree.
Well, the Bowman injury, where he caused a fumble and they didn't overturn it, or they didn't give him the fumble, was just so egregious. We ended up getting the ball back in that same possession, but if you watch that back, that is just horrible. And then Richard Sherman got the Seahawks in the Super Bowl by just barely tipping that ball. Man, that was a crazy game. And then you guys went on to win the Super Bowl, right? So that must have been the climax of the 49ers Seahawks rivalry.
Yeah, 14 years. Joe, what are you drinking? What are you wearing? For crying out loud.
Similar era. The Alex Smith was my guy. And, Colin Kaepernick, I think, took that game. And then I got a original pattern, my favorite brewery. Per My Last Email is the name of the beer.
That's great.
Per My Last Email.
Purdy.
It's got a cat on there. Yeah. So there you go.
Nice. I love that, guys. Our heads are in the same place. I got a Vernon Davis on. All right, we're all in the same era right now. And
This is the divisional game, our Saints divisional game, right?
yes, I want those vibes exactly.
Right.
And our head coach was the head coach of Joe and Scott's school at the time they went there. At that time, Jim Harbaugh.
That's it.
And Scott, we are a big fan of Ricky Waters on this podcast. I love that you have that jersey there. I brought my Ricky Waters starting lineup today. I have his jersey as well.
Still in the plastic. Nice.
Yeah, baby. This is collected a
You
lot.
got to open that puppy up, Jake.
No.
Play with the little helmet. Come on.
No, Mila did that to my Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds dual starting lineup, and I was very upset. And Scott, I remember I went to visit Dave for Purdy's breakout game at
Lumen.
What's it? Lumen? Is that the name of your stadium? Yeah, in 2022, that night game, it was a Thursday nighter, and there's a dude in a Ricky Waters Seattle jersey. He's like, "Why is no Niners fans have Waters jerseys?" And I was like, "Man, I wore it to the trivia night the night before at the bar we went to." But
What do the Seahawks call that stadium now? The Clink?
No, I think it used to be Quest.
Yeah, because
Now it's
Quest
Lumen.
changed and was bought by Lumen, I think.
I heard Greg Papa a couple of days ago saying he witnessed the audio guy show him how he piped in the 12th man sound
Son of a bitch.
into the stadium, but the NFL cracked down on it. And I'll just go with I'm a big non-alcoholic beer guy. This is a Athletic lemon radler, and the Athletic makes some great non-alcoholic beers. Where are they based?
There you go.
San Diego, California. There you go.
Yeah, you left some of that trash in my house. You can have it back anytime you like.
Joe ends up mixing it in with a little bit of vodka to turn it into a cocktail.
There you go. Lemon radler is great for vodka, I'm sure. Never tried it.
All right. Well,
What do you got, Gypsy?
The Sharkies had a nice win today over DC, over the Capitals. And
Yeah, they
with
did.
that, it is Toffoli time. I got my Pilsner from Fieldwork.
Ooh.
It is crisp and delicious. If for all of you wifed up, mic'd up fans out there who watch Kittle and Juice's wife chat about the Niners and take weird videos of them at their home, they all went to a Sharks game with, I think Mac Jones was there, but they were all drinking their Toffoli times. So, and then with that, I am also part of the era with the Bowman, Lucky Bowman, trying to bring the linebacker vibe this weekend because every linebacker counts. And so I'm just going to put the vibe out there. That game, 2013, we used to watch when I lived in San Francisco on Polk Street. We would do street TV where we put the TV down on the sidewalk, literally on Polk Street. People would be walking by and be watching TV, and we'd kind of use our steps as stadium seating. And it evokes those fond memories, less the 2013 break my favorite linebacker's leg.
You know, it's funny because it felt like that Fred Warner injury was going to be a moment like that. Like, that's the end of this era. That's the end of this season. No, it just made things better somehow. Things got better. Because after that Bowman injury, Niners went 8.
It was the end of that. It was the end of that group.
Yep.
That dynasty, which was forming, even though they never won a Super Bowl with it, was just
certainly wasn't a dynasty.
But I mean, that team they went to the Super Bowl the year before. They were so talented, and they had such great wins and great moments. They just ran into some really bad luck.
And it's the same as the Shanahan era. Like, you think of the Harbaugh era and the Shanahan era. I know most NFL fans are probably like, yeah, those are two of the best football, like NFL team eras in modern day. But no Super Bowls. What's going on?
Got to have a storyline.
What happened in the Super Bowl of 2013? You guys kicked ass. Is that right? I blacked out after we lost.
Peyton had the snap over his head.
Yeah, we
Broncos
blew out Denver.
Oh, right.
Like, the defense, like, Peyton was just awful.
Yeah. The snap over his head from the beginning.
They snapped it over Peyton's head. It was a safety, and then they went on to win by like.
Percy Harvin returned the second half kickoff, and they were up like 35-7 after that.
Right. It was a joke. That game was over instantly.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl was versus you that year. I mean, that was.
Yeah, it's like when we beat Dallas in '94, and then we played the Chargers. It was like a cakewalk.
Right.
The real Super Bowl
was the Niners Seahawks game for sure.
Well, then the Seahawks then went on the next year to come back to the Super Bowl and have that really rough loss against the Pats, which I'm sure, Scott, you probably have not good memories of that. But that was kind of like the.
Give the ball to Marshawn already. Why?
It's the same thing. Why do we did not give the ball to Frank Gore in 2012 to run it in from 3 yards out on 1st and goal? It's same concept. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that are arrogant in letting the touchdown pass.
Getting too cute, man. That'll kill you every time.
Yeah.
Getting too
cute. Here we are, Scott. Seahawks on the rise again. How does that feel?
Dave, we haven't mentioned it on the live pod. We were talking about it beforehand, but Sam Darnold was downgraded to questionable today because of an oblique. But Scott, you have some intel on that? Want to share that with us?
That Pro Football Doc guy on Twitter, and he said his concern was a 2 out of 10. He said the left side where it's hurt is actually worse because you get your power, but he said there's no probable anymore, so like questionable doesn't mean much, and I don't know. It sounded like you could shoot it up and you can block that injury, so it's a little concerning though because I've disappointed him most of the year for lack of running. He actually ran versus you guys well, but he hasn't run all year, and I was excited about his running last game.
Yeah, he was considered a dual threat quarterback going into college, as was Juwan Jennings and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, we haven't had a show since the Eagles game, and I think we need to just bask in that freaking win. What a game that was that we pulled out. I mean, I just thought we had little chance to pull that out. And once the that Eagles fan base started booing, I thought maybe we had a chance. That play though, Juwan Jennings to Christian McCaffrey.
The Super Bowl hangover for the Eagles was real this year. That's for sure.
Oh my God, was it ever? But usually the winning team doesn't get it like that. I mean, they had it big time when they lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, but then they got their comeuppance last year. But you know what? It's the coordinators mean a lot, dude, because that's basically the same offense. So it didn't really make sense.
Well, I mean, you could tell that was the thing. You know, on paper, I was not thrilled about the matchup, but you listen to the Philadelphia media, and they were really whiny about the offensive coordinator. And so as soon as, you know, things started kind of falling apart and the receiver and the coach were starting to kind of whine about it and the booing started happening, it just kind of fell apart on them. I mean, obviously we played well enough in key moments. Kendricks and Wallow, these 21 tackles between those two guys. Can you believe it? That was just didn't see it coming.
Well, Kendricks was a Pro Bowler a couple years ago. I mean, he's a long tenured.
There are 6th and 7th string linebackers.
Safety had 7 tackles of his own and made some pretty critical plays as well.
Yeah, Siegel had a great game. Wallow was just a godsend. I have no idea how that happened.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah. But you got to give credit to the Niners front office and these guys who are plugging in these dudes off the street, these practice squad guys. And Saleh, obviously. Saleh's doing a hell of a job. I mean, look how many teams he's kept under like 20 points with this bunch of backups. It's insane.
No, he had the defense won that game. We had no business. Absolutely no business playing that well on defense.
Seattle scored 13 against us. And we lost.
Well, that game was different. I think, you know, that first possession, Seattle went for it on 4th down, 4th and goal. Didn't get it. I think they missed an extra point or a field goal.
2 field goals. And one was short.
2 field goals. I mean, Seattle controlled that game, I would say. But you know what? Hey, what about that pass to Christian McCaffrey that bounced off him and got picked off? I mean, that goes a little different. 13-10, and who knows what happens.
Would have been a whole different game.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the NFL. There's a bunch of what ifs and whatever. But the most shocking thing was in the second half of the Philly game that we were getting 3 and outs like clockwork.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Like Brock throws that pick and you're like, oh, God, I don't know if we can survive that. No, the second half, the second one in the second half. And the Niners defense.
Eagles had the worst 3 and out, or had the most 3 and outs of any team in the NFL this year. They were notorious for going 3 and out. No, I understand.
Those guys
I understand that.
But you watched that first half. You watched that first half, and they were just running it down our throat. And I just like, wow, what could we do about that? Not much. And I don't know exactly what happened. Did they try to get cute or something? Or Garrett Wallow just took a shot at halftime, but like, I don't know. We were 3 and out. They couldn't run on us. It was weird.
There's a point in the first half when 3 points felt like 3 touchdowns. Like it felt like Philly had a complete hold on the game in the first half. And those halftime adjustments, whatever they did to shore things up was.
Jake, we talked about this earlier this week, which is the Niners had those big chunk plays, which they have not had since the Bears. They have not had since those previous games before the Seahawks. That is the only way the Niners are going to have a chance against the Seahawks. I don't know how they're going to find 20-yard pass plays, big screen passes, or some sort of maybe a draw play picks up 12 yards running. A big chunk plays against the Seahawks this week is the only way the Niners have any chance whatsoever. They cannot rely on just a bunch of dink and dunks to take them all the way down the field and live on field goals. I don't care whether Sam Darnold goes, 12 of 25 with 3 picks or not. The Seahawks are going to run all over the Niners. We know it's going to happen. We can't stop it entirely. How are the Niners going to win? They're going to have those chunk plays they got against the Eagles. They're going to do it against the Seahawks, but it's a much better defense.
I don't know, Dave. I don't know what you're talking about. We have some slow ass wide receivers. Where are these chunk plays coming from? Juwan Jennings
had one.
Like
he threw one to CMC. I mean, it's creativity. It's all the trick plays you're gonna have in the back of your pocket that hasn't been shown yet.
DeMarcus Robinson was the biggest chunk.
I know.
That was
unbelievable. That was crazy.
That's who you need to have a chunk.
What? Speaking of wide receivers, what about Ricky Pearsall?
Yeah,
he might play for about 6-7 minutes,
play.
And then somebody on the Seahawks defense will crush him, and he'll walk off the field if he can. and never see the field again. It's like it's inevitable with Ricky.
Wow. Nice outlook.
Guy's made of graham crackers.
The other thing about
took a bullet, but he can't like play unless he's 100%. So
he did get shot, and I'll give him that one.
He did get shot.
I'm happy that he's alive. That's great, but he can't stay on the field.
That was the most sarcastic. I'm happy.
I don't know about sarcasm, maybe disingenuous, but
yeah, there you go.
One fundamental difference between Week 18 and this coming week is Trent Williams is going to play. Yes. I think that is something. Who is it? Austin Pleasance. Austin Pleasance is not Trent Williams.
No, but he's a feel-good story.
We got enough of those.
Yeah, no, I mean Spencer Burford, who is the left guard, next to Trent Williams, next to Austin Pleasance in Week 18, just got completely disintegrated. So maybe the dynamic there will shift, and it's a game of inches. I mean, you remember that 4th and 1, Dave. We kind of looked at that closely, where I can't remember who's number 0 on the defensive front for Seattle. He came and knocked our left guard out of the way, jumped over Christian McCaffrey and disrupted the play, and then went to use check on a 4th and 1 and turned the ball over. Things like that were happening all game long. Game of inches, you make a little change, thing, the game can shift. So I think that game, it looked like a blowout, but we were in the game, and I think that there's still a possibility. I'm not betting on the Niners.
This is the biggest dog the Niners have ever been in a playoff game. But 2021 49ers wild card round went to Dallas, the NFC East division champ, beat them. This year, Eagles. Next game, Niners went to Green Bay, the NFC number 1 seed, beat them. Niners going to Seattle to play the number 1 seed. I don't know if there was big a dogs in Green Bay as they are against Seattle this week. Probably not. But hey, stars are aligning, everybody, for a little repeat of history.
This is the biggest dog the Niners have ever been since, I believe Joe shared that video, the Redskins game in '83 in the NFC Championship game. Yep. And I wanted to comment on that, Joe. You sent it like pretty close to our show tonight, so I didn't get a chance to really soak it in. But I've heard stories of that game where Montana led this great comeback in the 4th quarter, and they got screwed by the refs. But that's a game worth looking back into. And, it also tells you Montana didn't win every huge playoff game, although maybe he should have won that.
Well, they were down 21-0 in the 4th quarter, and he brought it back to 21-all. And Ronnie Lott and company got just jobbed. Take a look at these PI and holding calls. There's 2 of them. They may have won the game otherwise.
Hey, Scott.
And yeah, anyway.
Scott, what are your thoughts on Dan McGuire?
Dan McGuire?
Yeah,
I
played some. I guess it was Madden back then with him. Not tall, not very mobile. So not my. I'm normally a mobile quarterback video game guy. So
huge Michael Vick guy.
He was a Randall L kind of guy. I remember. Yeah,
he beat the Seahawks with the trick pass in the Hasselback Super Bowl. Randall L threw it 80-yarder.
Did you like when Russ just cooked?
He was so fun to watch, but I'd get rid of Hurts maybe sooner than later if I'm the Eagles, because I think those guys don't age well. Russell was unbelievable, and his peak, he was really one of the best ever, but then the peak it slowly went away.
It was amazing though. When was it? Maybe 2017, 2018, the guy would be down by 3 touchdowns and lead these massive comebacks every game. Do you remember that season? It was insane. I was 17 or 18.
They had one of those years versus Carolina where they're down 35-0 in the playoffs, and they came back and lost by 3. But he was just he was really fun. I liked having him when you were down 1 score and he could, with 2 minutes left and you had 4 downs, and I'd love having just a mobile guy when you have 4 downs to work with like that, where it's do or die.
Totally. Those 2 years where Kaepernick was actually good versus versus Wilson. Those are some of the best games ever when they went
such
head-to-head.
similar
That was
styles, but
fun
very
stuff.
different in the sense that Russell didn't have the straight speed that Kaepernick had. He had more of the dynamic, move in the pocket, get out of the pocket, extend the time. Kaepernick had there's a hole. Okay, I'm going to run through it, and I'm going to keep going. You're never going to see me again.
Well, and Cap was like 6'4". Russell Wilson was.
Yeah, but I'm just from a
6 feet, right?
mobility factor. Their mobility was they're both mobilities were dynamic and incredible, but very different.
Yeah,
And
and
Kaepernick-
throwing wise, Russ
Absolutely
had way more
had more
touch.
touch.
He was
Kaepernick threw that low bullet,
Yeah.
and Russ threw the moon ball.
exactly. Russ's deep balls were beautiful. I
No,
like those.
Kaepernick was ugly throwing that
He
ball.
threw a
man.
baseball.
It was
He threw a baseball.
like a
Yeah.
deer throwing it. It looked wrong.
I just heard an interview with Vernon Davis actually talking about it. He was like, "Man, I preferred Alex Smith's ball because he threw it like throw those easy to catch balls, just lay it up in your, in the basket." He's like, Kaepernick just lit us up and almost broke our hands constantly.
Hey, Kaepernick should have been a pitcher. He did not look like he should have been throwing a football.
I mean, I love that. That shows arm strength. He was a pitcher in college, and that's great stuff. But when a guy's running a 10-yard you don't try to light him up.
Hey Scott, I'm a
90
big
miles.
believer that the NFL is fixed, and they
Big believer.
huge
Big
believer.
believer.
Transition.
The NFL is fixed. The fix is
Big
always
believer,
in. They always want the
non-believer.
storyline,
Okay.
whatever that may be. They always want the heavy hitter franchise to get theirs when they deserve it. The Seahawks this year, pre pod, I asked you, like, what's the storyline that makes you feel like, oh, the Seahawks, it's this year. So what is that storyline? Like, what is it about the Seahawks that is going to make America fall in love with the team and want them to win the Super Bowl versus, for example, the Bears? Like, the Bears to me are number one in the league right now. The Niners maybe are number two. And then you're starting to look at maybe the Patriots or the Broncos, or, maybe the Bills are, up there too, just because of Josh Allen and the fact that they haven't won a Super Bowl in forever. But why the Seahawks? Why do the Seahawks get that NFL fix?
Why is Roger
right.
Goodell going to fix the game for you? Yeah.
I was going to go another direction of underdog story. Was my other good friend randomly texted me at 10:30 this morning and said he had an extra ticket. And so I'm flying in for 22 hours and going to the game this week. I haven't been to a game in about 20 years for the Seahawks.
Get out of town.
That was my personal underdog story. I don't know how great. I mean, I guess Sam Darnold, but he's not that exciting. Like, I think just people that like defense, I think there's a certain amount of NFL fans that dig defense. And if their defense just goes on a run and gets compared to one of the best ever, and they're like, it's Legion of Boom 2 or whatever, I mean, that's a story. But I don't think it. I think the Bears are like the sexier, trendy, weird,
Sure,
underdog story.
So since you're going to be part of the 12th man crew, maybe you can kind of tell us about how that vibe is going. I mean, it sounds like I've been hearing Seattle's better on the road this year, and that is, a far cry from how it used to be. Anything you can say about this fading 12th man vibe?
I don't know the exact stat, but I think last year they were like 7-1 on the road, and they were 3-6 at home. And then they started out this year with, they lost at least to Tampa. Oh, you guys in Tampa Bay early, but then they've won like 5 in a row. And like now, I think the city's behind them, and like we're back. I don't think anyone. I think it has to do with tickets. People selling tickets and losing the home field advantage for a lot of random games. But I think it's going to be a big raucous crowd. I think they're back, from that element.
I mean, I think it'll be both sides, because the Niners usually, they show up well to rival stadiums, and especially the Seahawks, although they'll try to place a limit on how many Niners fans get in. I think with resale sites, they, check area codes and zip codes.
it fixes in.
They sent some threat about like, we're going to revoke your season tickets if you
sell
saw.
some Niners fans.
Who knows? empty threat, probably.
I was listening to another Seahawks podcast today, and man, they do not like us Niner fans. They think very, very little of us.
Was that Hawk Blogger?
Yeah, it was. They were just like talking a lot of mess
that's
about
the weird
us.
thing. It's very passive aggressive. They'll do it on a pod, but when Jake and I went to that stadium and wore our Niners gear, they was the nicest fans I've ever met. And I used to work for a couple of years up in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, and people are just generally very kind. Maybe behind my back they were spitting on me. I don't know, but it's the Pacific Northwest, guys. I mean, it's like there's a lot of chill vibes up there, and a lot of outdoor people like to go skiing, mountain biking. Sports are kind of like a side thought, so
Definitely like to go skiing up there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's right. Very nice to your face, but they hate your guts when you walk away. You're passive aggressive, Dave. They don't like you.
Dave really made himself at home there. He made his way into a VIP suite at Lumen, and invited me in, and we made
it was great.
Seattle people.
We're just like catching fish at Pike Place and drinking Starbucks, and having a good time.
Game set match. We decided to do a little tour of Lumen Stadium and see all the facilities and all the people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time.
Would you just like to go with Scott to the game and put on some blue?
Yeah, I think we might.
I mean, it's not too late to get a ticket. No, it's a little late. We are 1-0.
We're 1-0 there. And the night before the game, we went to this like Niners takeover of a pub and played. I placed.
That was pretty impressive, Jake. Yeah, they did. The trivia game was name a Niners player, and the first person the person who was survival. Whoever lasted the longest won. And 55-man roster. You'd expect to stick around for a while, and Jake played it well.
I did. I kind of kicked myself a little. I think I could have finished first, but that's neither here nor there. So I want to play. This just came to my head. But Scott, I'm a big fan of football history, NFL history. So is Starkey. Dave, to a lesser extent, I'd say.
Dave.
I want to know your top 5 Seahawks of all time, Scott.
Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Sean X.
He the MVP.
Yeah, he was
Sean
awesome.
Alexander. He briefly had the TD record, and then LT took it from him 1 year later.
Yeah. Won me my first fantasy football.
What about Thomas? Earl Thomas.
Joey Galloway.
Earl ended kind of on a bitter thing, flipping off Carroll.
Yeah.
I was always a Carroll guy. It was time to go. I was happy, and we made a great move here.
Okay.
But,
how about some Marshawn action, Scott? Can I get some Marshawn?
I want Joey Galloway.
Ooh. I'm trying to think of an old, obscure guy.
And is Ricky number 1?
Yeah, I'd say Witherspoon from the new branch. Big fan of Witherspoon. And let's go Michael Bennett.
30. Number 32.
Well, actually, my when I was a kid, let's go deeper. I liked Andy Heck, the offensive lineman.
Okay.
Now OC
what
coach,
the heck?
his son's in the league. And Joe Nash, a big white nose.
I like your
tackle.
defensive prowess, Scott. I'm a big defensive guy as well. They don't get as much love, and certainly the NFL doesn't give a shit if you're winning championships with a great defense. I'd say the most dynamic, most impressive defense that won a Super Bowl was probably the 2001 Ravens with Ray Lewis and the rest of that group. Is the Seahawks, are they primed to become that next level, or are you more scared that that's the Texans? I've heard of the 85 Bears, but that's, we're talking 40 years ago plus. So, who cares at this point?
Legion of Boom. I think they have the 2 best. It's the 13 Seahawks and this Seahawks.
You put them above the Ravens of 2001? In recent here.
Well,
yeah. Gotcha.
And then Ravens.
85 Bears.
3, I think.
Most impressive
this century or whatever. I forgot Doug Baldwin. I love Doug
That's a
Baldwin.
good one.
He has to be in my top 5.
Oh yeah,
Big,
Okay,
big Doug
hey.
Baldwin fan.
I respect that. For sure.
Apologies to Doug.
Dougie B.
Apologies to Doug, not just but Baldwin. Okay. Well, so are you a Padres fan or a Mariners fan?
Mariners. I stuck with all Seattle. Although I'm in this really gimmicky fantasy league where you pick 15 different sports and you get a team and there's
15?
playoff thing. Like everyone is a Major League Baseball team and you can take the field and get all the rest. And it's just all how they do in the playoffs. And I did get the Padres for next season, so I'm gonna.
Who's your English Premier team?
But I don't invest a lot. I have one, but I'd have to look it up. I don't memorize that.
Yeah, I mean, I get dry about 8 sports. How do you get to 15? We get
I always go. I target women's volleyball very early every year. They're a very predictable sport. I got second this year with Pittsburgh, with Kentucky. But we got pretty deep.
UConn women's hoop. UConn women's hoop.
We took out
Scott and I, when we were back in college, we would just kind of make up shit all the time. All these random fantasy leagues. We would play. We were talking earlier. We're playing FIFA video games, the soccer game, and we'd come up with it's a team called the Witches, and it was just all the kind of like old washed up guys that were legends, and we just and we put them all on a soccer team. So we had I don't know. Do you remember Scott?
Witches.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
The Witches.
So how to describe it though? It's not the best players. It's like kind of the freakiest players with usually very athletic or one crazy skill, and they do it past an age that normal humans can do it.
Right.
But as an example, Westbrook wasn't on the team at the time, but he's a witch because he's just like a physical freak. He runs harder than everyone. He might not be the absolute best player, but our concept was if we could make all these great athletes just focus on soccer their whole life, we might succeed. And then we kind of got away from soccer, but at you'd be like, oh, Westbrook if he was a center forward. But fantastic the concept. Chris Paul is not a witch. Westbrook is a witch. There may be some people might
Russell
say
or Brian.
I'm thinking Russell
Westbrook.
Many people might say Chris Paul's the better basketball player. It's close, but
gotcha.
Westbrook is a freak. He's a witch. Paul's
a very good tactician,
very skilled, smart basketball player, but he's not a freak.
Randy Moss.
So we're playing this 2001 video game, and we got Ricky Henderson, and we got Jerry Rice, and Deion Sanders and such. People just the witches. So every time there's a new witch, who's the witch of the year here? That's still ticking.
In the NFL,
Ohtani's a witch.
Well, Ohtani's we witched him pretty early. We gave him the broom. And earlier than most. I gave
Bernard Longer a one when he made the cut 2 years ago at 64.
So is Giannis a witch?
Yeah. Nice. It looked like Ellie Davis.
Giannis is a witch. I'm assuming.
Giannis is pretty witchy.
But Joker would not because he's more skilled.
Yeah.
Wembanyama?
I get it.
Getting it or not getting it? He's
yes. No. Wembanyama?
No,
he's more skilled.
What? He's a freak. He's an absolute
He's not
freak.
playing center forward for Man U, that's for sure.
He can play goalie, I'm sure.
He'd be a great goalie. Yeah,
you mean that guy's so slow in the long. Give me a break.
He's the longest goalie of all time he doubles any wingspan.
Man, what a goalie he would be.
Yeah, and just go through his fucking gangly ass.
Nice.
Pulled an Artedon Daveron for you. Hey, I heard you got a pack of cards there, Jake. Or do you want to talk a little bit about the MLB and what's gone on over the last?
Well, yeah, Kyle Tucker's a Dodger. So after this podcast, I think I might end it all. The Giants have made no moves, and the Dodgers are now the rich getting richer by. I mean, more.
Is
than
Jonathan
anything.
Kuminga a witch or just trash the Warriors are trying to dispose of?
Oh, that guy's just fucking trash.
So Jonathan
Sorry.
Kuminga is demanding a trade, which is when.
Wait, by the way, I want to make a public apology to Juwan Jennings. I kind of grouped Juwan Jennings and his contract kind of whininess with Jonathan Kuminga.
It's okay. You can
And
trade
I feel really
Ayuk
bad about it now.
for JJ right now and throw him in with Kuminga on the get the hell out of town.
I mean, I just want to apologize to JJ. You know, such a badass. The way you've been playing.
Not a character, like he's always been known to be a team guy, plays hurt, like blocks his ass off. And then when he started holding out for agent money, it seemed like an agent play. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So that really messed his reputation up for a while. But guess what? When every other receiver falls off and you ball, then you're back, baby. All right, I'm going to open up a pack of cards as we do sometimes here.
Is this a like current?
Yeah, this is new stuff. Panini.
It's a sandwich?
Absolute football. I mean, they're expensive. I don't know.
No, it's the name of the. No, Dave.
Sounds good right now. I want a panini.
Scott, so you're in your buddy's son's studio, who also has a channel, right? Oh, I think we lost Scott.
Scott went full pixel. He went full slender.
So
He's back.
All right, first card. We're doing modern NFL. This is
they still make cards.
2025.
All right. Let's see. Okay.
Njoku, solid tight end for the Browns.
No, well, Patrick, get the hell out of here because I got an ACL tear.
Yeah, throw that one away. Get that. We don't need that.
He was on the cover too. All right, see you later, Scott. Thanks for everything.
Go Niners.
Speaking of Scott, JSN. Let's hope he doesn't kill us this coming Saturday. Alvin Kamara. These are all just stars. This is crazy.
I mean, that's all you're gonna want these days. That's all kids. That's all the kids.
Are these cards worth anything?
You got to wait 25 years.
I mean, they're expensive. Jake Ferguson, stud tight end.
Loves tight ends.
You just like the name.
Jake has a thing for tight ends.
Tyreek Hill. He has a thing for tight ladies' ends. Theo Johnson.
All right.
Your boy Dak.
We're going to do the thing that we don't want to do, which is we're going to do predictions right now with Jake's opening cards for this weekend. And we're not going to just do it for the Niners. We're going to do it for the full NFL playoff suite of divisional battles.
Has anyone heard of this guy, Alec?
Ayahuasca? Who?
What the hell is that?
No. All right, Joe. Do you want me to take you down the list? Are you ready? This is a surprise. Take me down the list. Here we go. Scott's back. Scott, we're going to do
Giamador Lenore.
Right. Stars.
Oh, okay.
Scott, we're going to do our divisional picks for the NFL playoffs. I'm going to need you to give me your pick and a score. Ready? We're going to go around the horn here.
Okay. Kyron Williams.
Broncos, Bills play the early game on Saturday. Broncos, Bills. That's a pretty tough one. I'm going to give you right now, the Broncos have a slight edge at -1. Scott, just rejoining the group. What do you got?
31-27 Broncos.
Joe?
Billies. It's the year of the Bills.
The fix is in for Joe, that's for sure. Jake?
$31-10.
31-10.
Wow. Josh,
I'm going to go 19-17
Okay.
Broncos. All right. We're going to skip the Niners and the Seahawks because that's going to be our favorite for the group. We'll do it at the end. Let's go Texans at New England. Right now, the New England Patriots are on a -3 on this one. This is one of my favorite matchups of the whole weekend. Jake?
This is crazy.
Crazy. Get crazy.
That's a tough one, dude. Pass.
You can't pass.
You can't pass.
Unbelievable.
There's no passing.
Yeah.
You don't have any
Put your
money on
feelings
this.
out
Just
there.
come up
I
with
love
something.
Because
He's going to bet on it. He doesn't want to
want me to
like
know. He
go
doesn't want
against
me to
his
know.
bet. I see what's happening.
Jake, we're
That's
going to
what's
need to
happening.
put some words behind your feelings here.
Bills
We are-
31, Broncos.
All right,
10.
we're going to skip Jake and we're going to move over to Scott to give us his input on the Texans and the Pats.
Because I fear the Texans. I'm gonna have them cover but lose. So we'll go 17-16.
17-6. I like that score. That's a good one. Joe? I love a 16 spot.
I'll do 17-16 Texans then, because we don't need this. I'm done with it.
I'm
New
going to
England.
go 12-10 Texans. It's going to be a lot of field goals, not a lot of offense. 12-10 Texans.
It's too soon for the Patriots.
I just
franchise
think
to be
that Drake
back.
May is
I
going to
need
see a
them to sit down.
defensive line that's going to give him a lot of trouble out this weekend. All right, and then
Sure hope
we've
so.
got the late game on Sunday. Joe's favorite thing in the world, the Bears and the Rams. Joe, Bears, Rams.
Oh gosh. Well, I want the Bears, but I think it's the Rams. I'm gonna go 31-21.
31-21 Rams.
Rams.
Scott. Scott. Jake.
Scott.
Jake.
The Bears seem very much like the Niners to me. They just seem like they're on a path of destiny, and they've pulled some rabbits out of the hat for sure all year. And the Rams almost got beat by the Panthers. So give me the Bears 27-21.
I'm gonna take Bears too, but I think this is gonna be more of a shootout. Actually, no, it's a snow game. Yeah, it's gonna be a cold, snowy game. But I still think there's gonna be some scores.
And Matt Stafford.
I think I'm gonna go. What did you say, Jake? 27. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go a little lower scoring, but I'm gonna go 24-23. Bears win on a game-ending field goal. And then last but certainly not least, our faithful Niners. Here we go. It's Niners Seahawks. Niners are getting 7 points. Joe?
Oh gosh. I hate to do this, but I'm gonna give it to the Seahawks. 2013
Seahawks. Jake?
I'm 17-13 Niners.
I'm feeling like, I think it's been a lovely season. I was hoping Fred would find a way back and instill a little bit more, but without him, I'm seeing like a 27-13 Seahawks kind of routing us a little bit.
Hold on a second. Why did we give away the Fred Warner news? We got them out there running around. We just said we could have said questionable.
Everyone in the media was saying it was a smart tactic to make them wonder if he's going to play or not.
Why aren't we smart?
And then why did you rule him out instantly? So stupid. We could have lived rent-free in the Seahawks' heads. They were game planning for him.
That's all they were talking about in their stupid podcast.
In their practices, they were game planning to play Fred Warner. And then the Niners just took away that option.
Yeah.
And stuff. Fred Warner's out and stuff. Oh, maybe I should have said that stuff. He's out.
Why would we do that? Did we have no?
There's something to
Bill Belichick would
Shanahan
not do
this
that
year
crap.
In the sense of he likes this underdog feeling. And Jake, I think you kind of talked about this. Like when he is the favorite, he really blows it. He wants to feel the pressure of the underdog. He needs the underdog role. And honestly, like The lack of pressure. There's no pressure on Shanahan. We're not expected to win this football game. The Seahawks are supposed to roll us. I think the Seahawks are going to roll us. I have no confidence that Shanahan's going to figure out McDonald's defense. Why would he? He didn't last week. The first week of the season when we beat them felt like luck and a lot of good, blessed Bosa defense at the end there with Darnold in the first game of the year kind of looking a little iffy. Darnold's not iffy anymore. Darnold's not a game changer, but he's going to be a great game manager. There's no reason why the Niners should win this football game, and I don't think Shanahan's going to have any schemes that are going to blow him away because just frankly, we're too soft to beat this tough-ass defense, as Scott pointed out. So, listen, I love the Niners. I'm being realistic here. I think this has been a great season, and I love the fact that we get another shot to play our rival, but that's about it. I mean, this has been lovely experience. I hope there's some cool plays this week, but it's house money time, baby. Enjoy the house money.
Yeah. So Scott says Seahawks 27, Niners 13.
Okay. Weird.
And I want to agree with Dave. That's not going to work out.
Scott, get to that game. Feel it. Feel the 27-13 victory. Go ahead. Feel it. Know it.
Chosen 1494 says when Shanahan's the favorite, he comes into work hungover, and that is a fact.
Well, I mean, okay, so I think we all know that the 49ers are, on the back foot here. We're just decimated with injury, but
the fact that we're even getting 7, it should be a 10.5 point spread.
No, it shouldn't.
Well, I mean,
we just beat the Super Bowl champions last week, bro.
We just did this last week where we talked about it and how could we beat the Eagles? And one of the things we said was, if we make it a close game and they get tight, and they got fucking tight. They got tight and did some dumb shit. When AJ Brown couldn't catch a ball, and they're yelling at each other, and they look like they're calling terrible play calls.
There's no animosity of the crazy Philadelphia fans. We're talking Seahawks fans who are going to support this team through thick and thin. There's well-coached Seahawks.
This is what I want to discuss. So you got the number 1 seed. You're at home, and next thing you know, Darnold throws 2 interceptions, and you're down 7 points. You might get a little tight. The crowd's getting a little anxious. This is the kind of scenario that we got to hope for. There's Siegel gets an interception. Next thing you know, Pearsall's looking like he's back. Get a couple first downs. I mean, these things can snowball and happen. I would not be shocked if we can make it a game in the first half.
It was 8 out of 10 chances the Eagles were going to probably win that football game. We were hitting 200. We got a base hit when we needed one. It's probably more like 8.5 to 10 with the Seahawks. There's a path for the Niners to win this game, and it's going to be through turnovers, good special teams from the Niners, bad special teams from the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense, I don't think is going to all of a sudden be a letdown. That's going to be their solid point.
We also learned something last week, Dave. Our defense is not as bad as we thought it was. We got a couple of linebackers that can play ball. I mean, honestly,
are we not that
Kendrick's
bad?
Pretty freaking good.
Is the Eagles' offense and offensive coordinator so inept that they just pretty much don't have anything to cancel out a defense that can recognize a play? I mean, they're still NFL players.
I mean, look at Sala. The Niners have not gotten blown out all year with this defense, and I mean, there's something to be said
100%.
for Sala. It's bend but not break all year. So there's nothing to take away from. It's not that the Eagles are inept. They're not maybe as strong coaching wise as last year, but there's something going on with this Niners defense that it's like next man up. And we've been saying it all year, it's bend but not break. And we've been saying it all year, and it's working almost every game. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. And I feel like we kind of do a little better from this underdog thing, we got there's a lot of special things happening. We got like full buy-in from this team right now. Everybody is doing the next man up, no ego. Shanahan has got to be looking at that week 18 film, figuring out something. on
And we
offense.
see Trent Williams, like, inspiring the younger dudes. And, he's this badass future Hall of Famer, big stud. And there's, he kind of has that youthful kind of gleam in his eye and joy. And there's a lot of positivity brewing. And you get those negative personalities out of the clubhouse. You get Debo. I mean, he did some positive stuff, but at the end, I hear he was very negative, like behind the scenes.
It's a play for your brother mentality, which I love, and I think that's what makes this Niner team special. Yeah. And so I don't give a shit whether they win or lose. This season has been very enjoyable at this point. It's been.
But I think it can keep going, dude. I think there's a viable chance it keeps going.
There is a path for the Niners to win. I'm trying to figure out what that looks like in terms of. I mean, we saw the Niners had a shot.
We can beat the Seahawks. They're not invincible. It's the Seahawks.
The Seahawks.
It's the Seahawks.
Listen, Jake, what's your path? Tell me how the Niners are going to win this football game. I know you run the damn ball, but seriously, give me like a little bit of a.
If Christian McCaffrey is getting 1 or 2 yards a carry, either run Brian Robinson Jr. or run some smart short pass plays. I also thought Juszczyk was going to play a bigger role in the passing game against the Seahawks, but guess what? He ended up doing that against Philly, and he was a huge weapon.
Yeah.
If you remember, I bet player props for Juszczyk against the Seahawks. He got 1 catch, and then against Philly, he goes off. So I saw that coming, and I want him to be in the game plan, and I want Jake Thompson
He's gonna
be in the game plan.
As is Farrell.
Yeah, he better be, and we need some quick reads, quick pops. To tight ends, we need some short routes to the receivers, short routes to the running backs, and just do smart plays. Don't have plays designed for Brock to sit back in the pocket and wait 5 beats for someone to go down the field.
Joe, what do you think? What do you?
Offense.
The key, well, the stat that I want to bring up from Week 18 again is time of possession, which goes hand in hand with no running game. The Seahawks outdid us 39-21, which is just.
Eagles dominated us in time of possession too.
So
but to your point, Joe, it's unlikely the Niners are going to win time of possession.
Mostly in the first half.
Well, that's how we used to win. That's how the Shanahan offense works its best. So I just don't think we're going to have a time of possession deficit quite that bad. I just got to think he's going to figure out some way to get a few more first downs
Eagles,
and keep
and
the
we
chains
lost
moving.
Time of possession 35-24 last weekend.
And this is it. The way we win this game is Brock Purdy. I just feel like this guy is totally underrated, and he comes to play in critical moments on his feet. He's going to win this game. If we win this game, it'll be because he's using his feet to move around on his 5th check down and hitting somebody for a critical first down on 3rd down.
And Joe, I think it was you. You said, I think it was you. The media gives all this credit to Shanahan when Brock's making all this off-schedule, all these off-schedule plays. Like, it's not Shanahan rolling out of the pocket, scrambling, ducking defenders, moving around and then making some crazy off-schedule throw that actually works for a big chunk gain. That's Brock Purdy. And it's great that Shanahan gives him the right to do that and gives him the, tools to do that, or gives him the okay for that. But Brock Purdy's the one executing the plays. So the way the media takes away from Brock Purdy and gives to Shanahan has been really killing me for the last few years, as everyone knows. But yeah, Brock Purdy, let's see play, and let's see some just short yardage passes. I want the West Coast offense to come out this game.
Well, I was just curious because I overheard Bill Simmons saying that, talking about the top 5 quarterbacks. And I was like, I'm not hearing Brock Purdy, which is like, I guess, not shocking. But here he is in the playoffs, doing pretty well, carrying this beleaguered, injured team, to the divisional round at least. I looked it up on his website, top quarterbacks. They have a whole very intricate ranking, and he's 16th. Sam Darnold's 15th. He's 16th. How is Brock Purdy the 16th best quarterback in the league? This is totally undervalued.
The Ringer quarterback rankings are.
Is there a Ringer coach rankings and Shanahan's one? Because it's the only way that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense, and we don't need to put stock into it. I hate that we even mentioned it. It's a clown.
It's not just that Ringer rankings. You look around; he's not top 10 anywhere. But the 3 of us have watched this guy play all year long. He was injured, and then he came back playing like a bat out of hell. He is very talented in the way he processes the game, the way he moves, the way he leads this team. I can't think of five other quarterbacks I'd rather have.
He was probably numbered 3 in MVP, and then he had a little bit of a down last. He was very close.
He was gonna win it.
And then year 3, he played with a bunch of injuries, including not having CMC all year. And so everyone has gone with this. Brock has plenty of weapons. It's all about his weapons. Brock has Shanahan, and Shanahan's running the schemes. It's never about Brock. Listen. It's about being
He's a genius.
Fucking Mr. Irrelevant. It's about having a chip on your shoulder. Let Brock have the chip. Don't be number 10. Don't be number. Win a Super Bowl. Let it speak for itself. That's the way it's going to have to happen for Brock to get the acclaim he deserves.
I mean, I'm just bummed out that we don't have a better supporting cast, because I think he is that guy. And I just wish we had Kittle. I wish we had Warner. I wish we had Bosa out there. This team would crush it.
Well, dude, he had a run this year where he set records for most touchdowns
total touchdowns. Yeah,
in the first 8 games, 8 starts, the quarterback. And he has the 3rd or 4th most playoff wins of any starter through his first 4 seasons. So he's not, and people who know their shit are picking up on that. So it's not like he's still that disrespected throughout the league on BS lists from that guy Ruiz that Bill Simmons pays for some reason. Yeah, he's disrespected because the guy wants clickbait. He knows nothing about football.
But Cam Newton says he's a game manager. He's a game manager.
How is Justin Herbert 3 on his and Purdy's 16? It's just
that list. I can't believe you brought that back into my life. It ruined my happiness in 2020.
I talked to you guys about Graham Cracker, Ricky Pearsall. But if I will say there's one potential X factor in this football game, because Ricky Pearsall in the beginning of the season was connecting really well with Brock. If he can fill the George Kittle gap, make some of those big plays, get some of those safeties to have to pull a little deeper to cover the Ricky Pearsall deep ball. If a couple of those hit too, because there was, if you remember, game 1 against the Seahawks, it was a huge Ricky Pearsall pass that set him up for the Tonjes touchdown. I think that is one of the biggest X factors. I just don't want to rely on it because I don't want to rely on that guy and being in the game in the 4th quarter.
I think DeMarcus Robinson kind of took over that role.
He was huge.
Philly. He was huge. That was our MVP of the game, probably. I mean, he had 115 yards receiving. And he was a stud for the Rams. He's a stud for the Chiefs at one point. That guy's a talented wide receiver. He had a huge preseason. And if we need to rely on him, so be it.
Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, DeMarcus Robinson, Jake Tonjes, a little bit of CMC. That is a pretty, that could be Juice. That is a pretty potent number of receivers. It's going to be all about Brock getting time.
A big number. It's a big number, Dave. It's not necessarily. They're not necessarily good.
Yeah, right. You're listing people, but give me one that I really can count on.
Yeah, these are people's names on the team, but
all right, anyway. Here we go.
Yeah,
our kicker's better, so there's that.
Okay, real quick, let's get to what. Anyone have a Warriors update? Is that game over?
The Dubs, ye old Dubs.
Should have probably.
They won 126-113.
They beat the Knicks.
Covered the 7.5.
Nice.
They were down 20 early, and then they win 126 to 113.
Brunson wasn't playing.
Milton player props. Did those win?
Jimmy Butler had a hell of a game, 32 on 14 to 22.
Butler with 32. Yeah, Moody was playing well early. He had 18. So hopefully we can just dish off Kuminga for a solid role player that actually shows up and plays the games. That's my hope. That's my wish.
Hey, my boy Pods, 8 of 9 for 19
Warriors
points.
There you go. Slowly but surely looking to catch those Lakers.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, fellas. Any last words for this weekend? Any hopes and dreams that need to happen? Are you wearing underwear inside out?
Well, first, I just want to thank everyone for hanging out
guys,
and watching.
If this is it, I mean, odds are this isn't going to go our way. It's been a hell of a season. Like that game last week was just amazing. This team really play their ass off this year. It was fun.
And I want to, as much as I love Niners playoff wins, it's funny because the Giants now, I'm happy with just making the playoffs and maybe winning a series or something would be amazing. The Warriors winning last year against the Rockets in 7 was amazing, and because they've had so much recent success that feels like a huge win to me. Warriors winning a playoff series, huge. Giants winning a playoff series or just making the playoffs, it's huge. The Niners are so hungry for a Super Bowl. They're such, they're one of the biggest organizations in the history of sports. And the fact that we haven't won in 31 sports or 31 years makes it Super Bowl or bust to a lot of fans. And unfortunately, I have that mindset. So I'm not going to be satisfied until we, take it home, man.
Well, we have the most playoff wins of any NFL franchise now.
40.
Yeah.
40 wins. And
Speaking 41.
Shanahan has won 11 consecutive wild card and divisional round.
It's been a while since the Niners didn't make an NFC championship game when they've made the postseason. So let's keep that ship moving. Go Niners, baby. Go Niners. And go Humm Daddies. Hey, and listen to all those fans that are still tuning in the public chat and elsewhere. We are planning an AFC NFC championship live podcast at Kingfish. More details to come on that at our next podcast. And or if you listen to Heat Check, like and subscribe. And by the way, we didn't do this, but hey, can I get a shout out for a little Simon Knight at Edward Jones? It's late. We'll make sure to get him in the show notes for sure. Simon Knight, you can reach him at 510-365-2371. Our lovely sponsor who's coming in and supporting the Humm Daddy since day 35 or month 12. I can't remember. But hey, Simon Knight, XA, big dude out of Colgate, played hoop, and now he's running financial services under Edward Jones. Again, that number's 510-365-2371. Go get your financial services served. Simon Knight.
Yes. And guys, thanks for everyone who's tuning in and chatting. Please subscribe to the podcast. Like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. We're on Instagram, Humm Daddies. And just thanks for checking us out.
Heat Check on Tuesday.
Heat Checks on Tuesday. We got this show, the original Humm Daddies, on Thursdays. Hopefully we do another Niners preview show on Thursday.
Expect if there's a Niners win, some very ecstatic shorts coming your way off of Jake Lucas's cell phone.
Sure.
There be.
Are you going to make Ian's house, Joe?
TBD. Ian, you're having a party.
Ian's house,
I'll be there.
by the way. Martinez, California, the address is. And good night, everybody.
Pleasant Hill. But yeah,